Hello everyone, Aaron Benatar here, health coach for Partner MD in Greenville, South Carolina. Wishing you a happy new year. We are already in January 2022, and to celebrate that, this video will be about fitness assessments for the new year as we make our resolutions to make this year one of health and fitness. We want to know where we're starting. So there are a couple exercises that we can do in terms of like testing to see where we stand, to see if there's progress. Every month or every season at the end of the year, we can test again and see if we made some progress. So before we get started, it's always important to make sure that your body is ready for the test. None of these tests will be too crazy. Uh, that's not the purpose of this video. However, injuries can happen, so make sure that your body is feeling good. If there's any pain, stop immediately, and it's always a good idea to check with your physician before you start doing something different in terms of physical activity. So I'm going over that disclaimer, so to speak, primarily because the first exercise is incredibly beneficial. It's a really good thing to do. However, lots of people have shoulder issues. So this is the dead hang. You would find a like a pull-up bar and hang off of it. Really beneficial and can be super healthy when somebody can support their weight hanging from a bar. Brachiation. Uh, it's a very basic motor pattern. However, be very careful with this. But if you do want to do the dead hang and you feel good about it, you can simply hang and count the amount of time you can spend hanging. The next test is the body composition test. So this is not really, of course, exercise. This is not movement, but figuring out where you are in terms of body composition is incredibly beneficial. One of the best things to do is use an in-body scale, which we have in the Partner MD health coach offices. The benefit here is it tells you how much body fat mass you have, how much skeletal muscle mass you have, and breaks it down into percent body fat. This is really important because weight is a very generic term. Uh, so many people say they want to lose weight, but if you can make muscle, that would be good. But that's also weight, so that's not losing weight, but muscle is healthy. So you see that kind of a circular logic there. So if you are burning body fat and making muscle mass, skeletal muscle mass, then you are getting much healthier. Of course, there's always the risk, which I talk to patients about. You know, if you make 2 pounds of skeletal muscle mass and you burn 2 pounds of fat, that is absolutely amazing. One of the best things anybody can do. However, the bathroom scale will not show a change, and the risk is there's no change. You didn't quote unquote lose weight. So frustration might set in. The next test is really important and one of the simpler tests one can do to check the cardiovascular health. This is the 3-minute step test. So one would do this. You'd find a step that is approximately 13 inches high. You would set a metronome. There are some good metronomes on your iPhones or Androids for free, 96 beats a minute, and you would step up 96 beats a minute, that's the pace for 3 minutes. At the end of 3 minutes, have a seat, find your pulse as quickly as possible, and count the cumulative number of beats in a minute. Cumulative number. The fewer beats there are, the healthier your heart cardiovascular system is. The more beats, the less healthy. There's a chart that breaks it down. However, the most important thing is you check your progress. So hopefully you're making a little bit of progress every several weeks, and you can feel good about that progress. The other beneficial cardiovascular test is based off of Phil Maffetone's maximum aerobic function test. You can do this with a recumbent bicycle, very beneficial. You would take your age, subtract it from 180. That would be your maximum age. I'm sorry, that would be your maximum heart rate. So you would keep your heart rate at or below that number of beats per minute while on a bicycle. You can do it for 12 minutes and see how much distance you've covered in 12 minutes. Be sure to use a basic level of resistance so that you can make this test constant. You can go back in several weeks and try it again with that same level of resistance, ideally the same machine because there is variability in these kinds of things, but hopefully you cover more distance at the same resistance, keeping your heart rate below that number, 180 minus your age from it. So those are the two cardiovascular tests that you can do. The other basic test, it is cardiovascular, but it's also just basic movement. Just walk for 2 hours. Try to see if you can walk for 2 hours. Find a good podcast, find a good audiobook, find some music, find a friend, uh, anything that keeps you going for 2 hours. Hopefully that's something that you can do without pain. And then one of the last tests we'll talk about is the single leg balance test. So you would balance on one foot with eyes open, count the time, and then balance on the other foot with eyes open. And then for a very significant challenge, close the eyes and see how you do. It's going to be vastly different, but balance is incredibly important. This goes back to proprioception. Knowing where your body is in space is incredibly important to prevent falls, which is something we want to do very much. Uh, we want to prevent falls. So to recap, we have the dead hang. If your shoulders are feeling good, it might be skipped by you. That is absolutely okay. The body composition test with the in-body scale, the 3-minute step test, and the maximum aerobic function test, which can be done with a recumbent bicycle, walking for 2 hours, and the single leg balance test. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you have any questions whatsoever, put them in the comments below and I'll answer them as quickly as possible. If you are interested in doing a fitness program with us here at Partner MD, be sure to check out Optimize PMD. Thank you for your time and wishing you a great 2022.